Because if I try to play Borderlands 4 when my PlayStation connects to the internet, it instantly crashes on boot. And they've still not fixed that.
Carl, it is a premium game for premium players. You can't expect to be playing online.
People can't even see me playing it online because they've not bought it yet. And while playing through that game, I was there like, wow, the writers at Gearbox have just never topped Handsome Jack, have they? So far away, Lucas, and lovely audience at home, same question. Who is your favourite character from the Borderlands series?
I mean, maybe as just a visual. When I first played Borderlands 2, I always went for Zero, but nowadays I prefer the Sirens. Like Amara in Borderlands 3 is very badass.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the Siren archetype, especially the fact that I have one in every game, and they always have like fun and interesting powers, which is kind of the whole appeal of the series, isn't it? It's like, make the number go up, shoot some guns. But today we're talking about one of the people who made some of those guns, Handsome Jack.
The moral is, you're a total bitch.
I don't think you can describe it as shoot some guns. I think it's shoot all of the guns, Carl.
I forget which one of the games it was where, like, in the advertising spiel, they just said, shoot 1 bajillion guns. And they weren't making that up. But yeah, today we're talking about Handsome Jack. And Lucas, do you think Borderlands has ever topped Handsome Jack?
Well, the Calypso twins, surely.
Anyway, I don't know, maybe you had to be there. The moral is, you're a total bitch.
So no. Isn't that interesting, right? 'Cause I contend Handsome Jack is one of the best villains in video games, full stop. I also contend that Damien Clark, who voices Handsome Jack, is one of the best voice acting performances in video games, full stop.
What, Stallion? Hey, girl. What, Stallion? Say hello. Yeah. What Stallion says hello.
Because I know a lot of people single out Roger Clark's performance as Arthur Morgan, which is kind of fun, Damien Clark, Roger Clark, but Arthur Morgan is like the protagonist, and you get the full range of his like expressions in that game. You get like, you know, his motion capture performance, and you see his face for 90% of the game.
I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan.
Damien Clark had to voice a character who you basically never see, and they still got across their personality so goddamn well.
Yeah, and obviously they expanded upon Handsome Jack's character in, like, there was, like, the pre-sequel, and then the Tales of the Borderlands, but just in Borderlands 2 alone, they were a great villain.
But for anyone unfamiliar with the Wiki Weekends format, myself or Lucas will scour the lengths and breadths of the internet for a wiki on a subject we're interested in, bring it forward for discussion, and see what kind of conversation arises as a result. And I have in front of me now the Borderlands Wiki with the section on Handsome Jack. So, Handsome Jack is the main antagonist of Borderlands 2 and the deuteragonist of Borderlands the pre-sequel. He has taken over the Hyperion Corporation, declared himself dictator of Pandora, and stolen all of the credit for finding the vault.
And, like, I don't know the timeline of this. Is Borderlands 2 late enough that that could actually be a parody of Elon Musk?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, it sounds familiar, the story of just comes in, takes over company, takes credit for everything.
And I love all the little bits of backstory you get for Handsome Jack throughout Borderlands 2. Like, I love when you go to, like, the Hyperion-owned, like, section, and you get all of, like, the voice logs for, like, Handsome Jack when he's working as just random employee number 6.
Expendable moron, we're ready to resume construction on the inner hull, but the workers are whining about some sort of viral outbreak or something. Need you to get inside the quarantine section and see if this infestation thing is the real deal.
Right, and you get, like, this mini story of Jack when he was an office drone, and then him rising through the ranks to become the leader of Hyperion. And it ends with him doing the Millennial Dream and choking out his boss, or his former boss at that point.
Mr. Tassiter's been replaced, sweet cheeks. Starting today, you're working for me.
John, is that you?
Call me Jack, honey.
Where he's just like, and again, the performance is fucking fantastic, because you get Handsome, all you have is a voice log, but you can hear the sheer hatred in Jack's voice as he chokes out his boss.
Sir, we've lost at least a dozen staff to the Angel's malfunctions. We need to shut her down. Your wife suggested as much before her disappearance.
Jimmy, please make a note. I'm strangling Mr. Morin for bringing up my wife. Choked? Mr. Morin?
Yeah, those voice logs have got to be up there in terms of performance with, like, you know, similar to like the Bioshock ones, where the Bioshock ones are actually worth listening to, but how many audio logs do you come across and you're just like, oh god, this is awful.
Skip it. I think the voice logs that I got most pissed off by were the voice logs in Metal Gear Solid 5. And the ones in Metal Gear Solid 5 are fun, but because I know they replaced the codecs, I'm like, fuck you. I didn't like them. And there is some amazing ones in that. You have the one of, like, I think it's it's Wind Talker talking to one of the members of Mother Base, and they invent McDonald's.
This bad boy could even solve Africa's hunger problem. Excuse me. People will no longer fight over food or find reason to hate one another. Mankind will come together, reunited between these fluffy buns. Forget Pax Americana. Say hello to Pax Hamburgana.
And they talk about how, like, the burger is the ultimate expression of America. Like, and they say, we'll unite the entire world between these two fluffy buns. Well, a new team of Vault Hunters is tasked with killing Jack and restoring relative peace to Pandora.
Yeah, and I like the fact that every game has a new set of characters.
Yes.
I do think it's gotten to the point of weird with the whole siren thing, because
they lean way too much into it.
Well, it's more just like, if people aren't familiar, the sirens, you know, they're really cool characters, but in the lore it says something along the lines of only 6 can exist at any one point in time.
Yes.
And we've managed to play as 4 different ones in 4 different games.
And encounter, like, the other 2, I think. And yeah, I played Borderlands 4 recently, which is why I'm talking about Handsome Jack today. Or at least to say, sorry, I've tried to play Borderlands 4 and it doesn't crash immediately on boot. Like, fun fact about my copy of Borderlands 4, I can only play it when my PlayStation is not online, because if I try to play Borderlands 4 when my PlayStation is connected to the internet, it instantly crashes on boot. And they've still not fixed that.
Oh, it is a premium game for premium players. You can't expect to be playing online.
It's so premium, people can't even see me playing it online, because they've not bought it yet. And while playing through that game, I was there like, wow, the writers at Gearbox have just never topped Handsome Jack, have they? And you mentioned like the Calypso twins, they're the villains of like Borderlands 3, probably some of the worst written, most annoying, frustrating villains in a video game.
What is up, brothers and sisters? God Queen Tyrene coming to you live. We got something real special for you today. Your #1 most requested murder. It's the great heretic herself, the Firehawk. Well, look who got plucked. Smile.
Every line of dialogue they speak is either cringy, annoying, or both.
Maybe they are the best written villain in a video game, because I wanted them to die so bad.
Yeah, and they are constantly just chirping in your fucking ear. And seemingly, the writers of Borderlands 4 realised that, hey, the Calypso twins were fucking annoying. The new villain is the Timekeeper. You talk to him once at the start of a game, and then you don't talk to him again until you beat him. And in the mid-section, you have 3 bosses of like the 3 areas of the map that you take over. So instead of having 2 really annoying, underwritten bosses, you've got 4 underwritten, kind of okay bosses.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I've heard about Borderlands 4 is like, because the feedback for 3 in terms of like narrative and story and stuff, like they got such bad feedback from things like the Calypso twins that they just made everything just pure milquetoast in 4. Just they didn't want any backlash.
Yeah, like all the characters are complete nothing burgers. Like none of them are interesting. You don't spend any time with them because the way the game is set out is you go to one area, liberate it, next area, liberate that. So you barely spend any time. Like one of the guys you bump into right at the start of the game is character Rush. Comes in, and you get those cool Borderlands intros where like the dynamic screen, the splash screen with their name, and like a little joke at the bottom.
How about you? You hurt? Hungry? Thirsty? Doesn't matter. I got you.
Rush throws you a bottle of water. It's like, Rush, got your back. I didn't speak to him again until I finished that area. I didn't have a single line of dialogue with him until I was liberating that area. And he shows up for 5 minutes, then leaves. And he's talking to me like I'm his best mate. And it's like, I've not spoken to you for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that's how much he had your back, Karl. Like, he was so far ahead of you, just killing other people in the background. You didn't know.
And as well, Joe, there's Borderlands splash screens. There's like 6 of those in the game.
Wow.
There's not many. And I love that about Borderlands. I love the Borderlands visual style.
All around the stack, there's plants. The stalker chased the bandit. The stalker thought 'twas all in fun. Goes the bandit.
And I love, like, just every character gets their cool dynamic intro of them doing a cool thing, splash screen, their name, joke. I said there's like 6 in the entire game. And I'm like...
There's probably 6 of them in, like, the first level of Borderlands 2.
Yeah, and, like, maybe there was feedback there, and I love those. That's part of the visual flair of the Borderlands series.
As you step over the corpses of the unfortunate knights who tried to murder their queen, you know you've come to the right place. For who else could possibly bring the light back to the world? Who else but the most beautiful, most glamorous, and most graceful queen in history? But Stallion!
That is one of the singular most identifiable things about the entire franchise, yeah.
And there's barely any of them. And a lot of the characters they said are very milquetoast. They're nothing. And it's frustrating, because some of them are actually kind of cool. I want to talk to them more. Like, there's one villain. It's the Ripper Queen. And their backstory is of like, hey, they're a bandit. They went fucking crazy, because there's a bunch of crazy bullshit going on in the world. And they have, like, jokes in Borderlands, some people have, like, robot arms and stuff. They've gone full fucking RoboCop and have just implanted their brain into a fucking giant spider mech. Like, that's an awesome character.
Yeah.
You talk to them once, and then you beat them, and then they don't come back, and it's like, oh.
And do your own playable characters make up for it in any way?
That's the thing, because in Borderlands 4, they've changed it so now that your player character, the Vault Hunter, has dialogue, which is really fun. It's actually kind of cool to see your character in a cutscene, because in the previous Borderlands games, you were just like, you might as well have been a fucking block of tofu from Resident Evil 2, where they just talk at you and it doesn't change based on who you're playing. Your character now has input on the conversations and fun quips and lines of dialogue. There's even some like unique lines of dialogue based on who you're playing as. That's really fun. I would like there to be more of that, and with characters who are memorable, so I want to talk to them.
And obviously, Karl, you know, if you've been playing the game, you've got to let us know which which character you're playing as.
I like Amon. So he's the Forge Knight, he's like the melee class.
I soar upon metal wings!
And melee is really underbaked in this game, to the point where it's basically useless against some bosses, because some bosses, you know, the classic Borderlands thing of, hey, flying enemies, let's go, and all of your guns, they're not hit scan. And if you use like weapons that fire slowly, or a melee class, you literally can't hit that enemy. And there's one section where I came up to it, it's fight 3 flying enemies who sit at the back of the map and shoot you constantly. It's like, how am I supposed to do this as a melee class? But he's fun. I had fun playing as that character. It's an interesting playstyle when it works.
Yeah, maybe they didn't fully think through all the locks. I do think a lot of games in Borderlands ilk, they do design a lot of the bosses around it being co-op played.
It's very clearly designed around co-op, to the point where one of like the side missions that you get, and I was to the point like, I have to be doing this wrong. There must be something I'm doing wrong, because this can't be how the developers expected people to complete these missions. And they have like a bunch of missions where you find an object on the floor, return it to a specific place on the map. Very basic video game stuff. Fetch quest. When you pick up the object, your character picks it up in their hand and it takes up your entire screen. And for context, people don't know, in the Borderlands series you have something known as digistructing, where everything from your guns to your fucking vehicles can just be magically digitally constructed in thin fucking air. For these fetch quests, you have to hold the thing in your hand. It's like, okay, cool. If you change your gun, reload, heal, do a double jump, get into your vehicle, do anything except for walk, you'll drop that thing on the floor. And if you drop it on the floor and you get too far away from it, or you get downed and you're in fight for your life, because, yeah, you also can't use like your class-specific skills, because that also drops the object, it will despawn and go back to where you've picked it up, or fall through the wall. Then you have to do platforming with this thing, but you have to do platforming, but you can't use your grappling hook, because if you use your grappling hook, you drop the thing on the floor. So the expected way to do it is to throw it up to the next area. But I've done it. I think I put a video in the group chat, right? Of like, here's me trying to do it. I threw it and you see it bounce and fly off the edge of the map. And that's clearly designed for co-op, because clearly they want you to throw it to your teammate and catch it. I can't play co-op because I can't play online.
And then you also put in a clip where you like just gently threw it against a wall and it just clipped into the ground.
Yes,
I
found out later you can just drop it on the floor and then grappling hook it from really far away. But it's like it's to the point where I was like, this can't be how they expect me to do this, and it is, and it's awful. It's terrible because when you pick that object up, I'm gonna say like over half of the input options that you have are neutered, because if you press them, you instantly drop it on the floor and it despawns.
God, that's annoying.
It's annoying, yeah. Why is it in the game? Especially in Borderlands, which is a game about getting big. Getting those numbers up, right? But anyway, let's get back to Handsome Jack now. So, background. Jack's father died when he was young, and his mother left him in the care of her mother, Jack's grandmother, who was at minimum physically abusive towards her grandson. And you'd have a mission in Borderlands to just go shoot her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's Jack. It's like, hey, my grandma's around here, go shoot her, I'll pay you some money.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's one of the less villainous moments of Handsome Jack. Of like, hey, go kill my abuser. It's like, yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. Thank God. I was so worried he'd killed those bandits before they could murder old Gran. And you know what? Now I don't even have to pay him, so thanks, loser.
Yeah. And that's the thing, there's a couple of moments that really humanise Jack. Like, so when you're going through, like, the Hyperion Control Space Station, and you get, like, his, like, voice logs when he was a random office drone, and I love the joke that everyone in the office calls him John. Because, like, Hyperion is such a massive company, they don't even know his name. Like, his boss doesn't know what his name is. And Jack eventually is like, hey, look, there's some serious shit going on in the universe, maybe we should go check that out. What do you do again? Who are you?
It's like, I'm the man who's about to choke you, the goddamn
I'm about to choke a bitch. What's your name? It's Mr. Henderson. It's Mr. Bitch now! Ah! You also find out his daughter, Angel, is one of the sirens mentioned earlier, where, like, she melted her mum with her siren powers. And you have the voice log of when Jack walks in on that, and it's fucking harrowing. His voice performance is so good!
No! Angel, what did you do? What did you do?
Angel's pain was so great that it was enough to repower that turret. That terrified girl's scars run deep. There's one more artifact. Look for a Hyperion communication satellite.
It is harrowing, but then at the same time, we're talking about that same guy then decided to use his own daughter as a power source.
That's the thing as well. One of the things I love about Handsome Jack as a character is that you can kind of see where he's coming from. Because, like, when you're about to go, people don't know the basic plot of Borderlands 2, there's a person who's in your ear the entire time, Angel. And when you discover them, they're a siren, and their siren powers are interactive with technology. They're a technomancer. And it's Jack's daughter.
Truly stop Jack from waking the warrior. You cannot just steal the vault key. You must destroy his catalyst. You must destroy
me.
And throughout the game, Handsome Jack is just like Mr. fucking confidence. He's called Handsome Jack, for God's sakes. When you get into, like, Angel's, like, control room, and she herself asks, can you please kill me? The life I'm living is not a life. Like, just end it for me so I can be free. And Jack calls you up, and he's basically crying, begging for his daughter's life.
He's, like, screaming at you, like, please, dear God, do not
like,
kill my daughter.
Don't do this. You don't know what she did. You don't know what she did. And it's really, really fucking harrowing.
Please, okay, are you hearing me? Please don't kill my baby girl.
Obviously, you know, full spoilers for Borderlands 2. It's been a while now. You've had your time.
Go play it.
But,
we're not even, like, scratching the surface of Jack's characterization. Like, go play the game and pick up as many voice logs as you can. Damian Clark puts on, as I said, one of the best voice acting performances in gaming. I'm throwing that gauntlet down. Name a better one. Name a better one that has more range. That goes from, like, you know, the sadistic glee as he's choking out his boss, to, like, the whimpering mess as, like, you kill his daughter, to the absolute just fury.
Send in the constructors. I want those bastards dead now!
I would argue that between the two games, maybe Freya from God of War, the 2018 and Ragnarok.
Okay, that's a good performance. Like, speaking of like the anger, the fury, I think like when Freya screams Kratos right at the start of the game. That's a fucking good scream. Like, you can hear all of like the built-up rage and just the impotent frustration she feels in that moment.
Yeah, and the character goes through a bunch of different arcs and, you know, growth throughout the two games, and I won't get into spoilers for that, but yeah, going back to the Borderlands 2 spoilers, yeah, it's very interesting because throughout Borderlands 2, Jack basically mocks you and also mentions the fact that, hey, at any point I could probably just kill you, but he doesn't until you then kill Angel, and he's like, right, fuck it, someone's gonna die, and just immediately comes in, kills Roland.
We got the vault key, but this isn't over yet. We gotta find Jack and take him out. Lilith, take the vault key to Tanis. I'm going after Jack.
Roland!
Sup?
You bastard! I'm gonna...
Language.
Yeah, and you don't respawn. And one of the things about the game is like, it's a video game, you can respawn. In universe, those respawn machines are owned by Hyperion. You even have a mission where like you've asked, I don't think you asked Jack, but he talks about like, yeah, I control these, I can stop you respawning at any point. I just like watching you fail. It's entertaining to me.
Yeah, and there's one where he just tells you to go and jump off a cliff or something, and he's like, I promise I'll respawn you, yeah.
Okay. I guess you just killed yourself.
But then, like, towards the end of the game, you kill his daughter. It's like, fuck it, I'm just going to shoot Roland. I'm not going to respawn him. He's dead, fuck him.
So it just goes to show the type of character he is, right? Of, hey, obviously he can't perma-kill you because it's a video game, but he can kill previous characters. And it's like, yeah, I've just been letting you guys live and mocking you this entire time, but now you've made it personal.
And I'm real fucking mad about it. And speaking of, like, screaming and anger, one of the reasons why I think Damien Clark's really good at that, because do you know his other most famous role, Lucas, besides Handsome Jack? And I'll give you a clue. It's a really smug character who screams a lot.
If I'm remembering correctly, they play Cell in Dragon Ball, right?
He's Perfect Cell.
Oh my goodness, the Great Poupon is in. Talk to him! My beautiful people of the world, scream!
Yeah. I mean, like, you can immediately see the casting decision there of, oh, well, who do we need to play, like, this smug, handsome, perfect guy? It's like, oh, well, get the guy who played Perfect Cell.
Yeah. And you can hear the voice performance. As soon as I learned that, I was like, I can hear Cell in Handsome Jack's performance, which only made it better.
Excuse me. Could you tell me where I might find the global broadcasting room?
Upstairs on the left, sir, in Studio B.
Upstairs. Thank you, miss.
And there's one moment in the game I want to single out, and I think it's where like you are trying to get to Sanctuary or something after it's like gone into space, and like Hyperion sends like 1,000 robots at you, and Jack's like, okay, I'm done now, send in everything. And the guy was like, what do you mean? It's like, everything! And you can hear just how fucking mad he is in that moment, because up until that point he's been okay, but just when he's like, you can almost hear him like banging his fist on the table and screaming everything, and it's so good a performance.
God damn it, Angel, what are you doing? Those are the bad guys. I'm sending everything I have at you.
Yeah, because that's the moment where they have to teleport Sanctuary, right?
And like, as I said, you only hear his voice, but I can picture the exact motion Jack's doing. Like, I can picture in my head Jack banging his fist on the table and screaming at subordinate to do what he's asking. That's the hallmark of a good performance. Because I don't have like the visual reference for what he looks like when he's doing that, but I can picture it perfectly.
Yeah, that's one of the really interesting things about Handsome Jack is that, like, as we've mentioned multiple times, it's nearly all just with voice dialogue. It's not actual cutscenes most of the time, and yet he's still characterized so well.
And that's why I contend it's one of the best voice performances in a game, because Damien Clark basically had one of his hands tied behind his back because he didn't have the benefit of the player having a physical performance to refer to enhance his voice performance. There was just his voice. It's just
and
him.
Again, there are like some cutscenes, and there's like obviously you get to see more of him. I believe in Tales of the Borderlands, he's in quite a lot of the cutscenes and that and stuff. But yeah, like most of it in 2, just with the voice, it's phenomenal.
Angel, I order you to defend yourself!
And Lucas, you mentioned the voice performance of Freya in God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. That's Daniela Bisutti. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is there any other like voice performance in a game you want to highlight? Because as I said, I contend Handsome Jack is, if not the best, maybe I'll wall that back a little bit, one of the best. And I feel that the fact that Damien Clark did that performance, and it's just him, you don't have the benefits of a mocap performance, like even just a visual. Most of the time when you're hearing him do his like voice lines, you're melting bandits with a shotgun that shoots like fucking samurai swords. And you still get across his personality. That's why I think it's so good. But is there any other voice performances you like single out?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of recency bias, but I think some of my favourite voice performances are just the entire cast of Expedition 33, like Claire Obscure.
That game's so good. Expedition 33, like fucking what a voice cast.
Yeah, and I think like I'd like to shout out Ben Starr and Jennifer English specifically, but the entirety of your party is incredible.
Yes, like that game, me and Lucas talked about it previously, we don't want to spoil it. We love that game so much, we refuse to divulge basically any information about it. Go play it.
Because, like, you know, that's essentially what I did to you, right? It's just...
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you told me nothing about that game, because that's one of the best gaming experiences I've had in, like, 5 years.
Yeah, I basically kept telling Karl, like, look, I can't really tell you why, but you'll love it, and it's phenomenal. Go play it without looking it up. Just get it.
And Expedition 33 does have some absolutely top-tier voice acting in it. For some reason, though, I found myself really liking SK.
Yeah, like, SK is such, like, the best boy. Just, like, the fact that it'll be like, ooh, swimmies.
The thing is, though, like, again, the depth to that performance. We don't want to spoil too much about the game, but when you initially encounter SK, it's like, oh, this... I remember the first time I was like, oh, this character's going to be annoying. Within 30 seconds, I was immediately sold.
It's just so charming.
Because you meet SK, and it's like, okay, what do you want me to do? And he goes, I need you to go find my rock. And it's like, let me guess. You can't even say it. Let me guess. It's in a really far-off land, and we have to travel all the way across it, and it's surrounded by monsters. It's like, no, it's over there.
But Flory was stolen by my arch nemesis. One whose every step shakes the foundation of the world. The one known as... Francois.
Okay.
Let me guess. Francois is located deep in Nevron-infested territory, right?
Oh, no. He's right next door. Over there.
Oh.
But they're confused by it, and then when you go get the rock, you have to talk to like a fucking turtle. It's like, I don't want my... You're not having this fucking rock.
Well, over my dead body!
So, SK really wants his rock, though. I'm going to have to take it back. I'm sorry.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's like, that is a game with some absolutely rock-solid performances. But those performances are enhanced by the really great visuals and, like, mocap performances.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, obviously I mentioned God of War, and you've got to mention Chris Judge as well, but they are some of the most high-fidelity, you know, fully motion captured cutscenes that you'll ever see, right?
Yeah, and it's to the point where, like, a lot of Chris Judge's physical performance was carried over into his voice direction. For example, like, do you know when he picks up, like, the Blades of Chaos?
Right,
in God of War 2018. Apparently, Chris Judge made a genuine mistake in the mocap suit. Like he dropped the blades, and they left that into his performance because it looked like Kratos is hesitating to touch them. And again, that's a detail it's enhanced by the physical performance. Damien Clark had none of that.
Or very little of it,
Very
right?
little. Not to mention as well, like the world in which his character inhabits, Borderlands, is really elevated, and it's really silly. Yeah. So the fact that he was able to put in a really strong emotional performance that actually did get to me at some points, like his rage is palpable, like his fear, his like him just being like this pathetic blubbering mess when you kill his daughter, is really impressive considering the world in which Borderlands exists.
And bear in mind, like, you know, some of those missions, like, where obviously there's like the Stallion stuff, but like he is also very stupid and over the top and villainous and cartoony.
He's very funny.
And funny, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, maybe you had to be there. The moral is, you're a total bitch.
Like, kind of least and most favourite moments in terms of him just being maniacal is like the tiny violin, right?
Oh yeah, it's like where he kills like Mordecai's bird, Bloodwing,
right?
And again, I can picture the exact scene in my head, and I know it off the top of my head, off by heart, because it's that good. And it's where it's like, oh, I was going to play a stupid song for Mordecai's bird, it's going to be awesome, but where's the violin? And then you hear him, and like, presumably Damien Clark leans away from the voice mic, and he goes like, hey, Blake, where's the bloody violin?
Oh, where the hell is... Oh, I had a violin somewhere. I was gonna play it all sarcastically. God damn it, it was gonna be awesome. Blake! Where's a bloody violin?
And you can, in your head, picture the scene of him, like, running away from the mic. Then he comes back a couple seconds later and he's like, okay, here's a song for Mordecai's stupid bird in E. And he plays, like, a few shitty notes on the violin. It's like, oh, shut up, it would have been funny and awesome if I'd have done it right away.
Alright, sweet. Found it. Alright, this is a song for Mordecai's stupid bird. In E. Alright, you know what? Screw you. It would have been hilarious if I found it earlier. Shut up!
And like, even just the moment where Bloodwing dies, right? Where he's like, the boss fight is you fighting different elemental versions of Bloodwing. And then the end, he's like, oh yeah, and there was one more element. Explosives! And just blows up Bloodwing. It's like, no.
And you've got to give credit to whoever voice acted Mordecai, because I didn't really rate his performance up until, like, when you're leaving. And just like, whoa. Did you think we were done?
Yeah.
And someone's in, like, a load of, like, super high-level robots you could have no hope of killing. And Mordecai's like, Vault Hunter, get down. And just a fucking rail cannon and just takes out, like, 50 robots. Like, why didn't you do that right at the start?
He needed the emotions, Karl.
He did. Oh man, it's such a cool moment in any bit of media, right? If like the person gets mad and just gains a new level of power, a la Dragon Ball, which, you know, Damien Clark's got a lot of experience with voicing Cell. And in that vein, any performances like that where someone just gets real big mad and absolutely whoops some ass. You mentioned God of War, right? I love like when you're fighting Thor. And any boss in that, the moment they press the Atreus button and Kratos just immediately just like goes fucking Super Saiyan 10.
Well, I think to the opening of God of War 2018 where you fight Baldur, and it's just that moment where you gain Spartan Rage for the first time. It's like the first, like, you know, few minutes are just basically being dicked about a little bit.
It's a sparring contest with Kratos, right? Because he knows he can't be hurt, but he knows he's gonna win.
Yeah, but it's just that, like, prompt that comes up of that activate Spartan Rage, and you're like, yeah!
And you know as well, it's like the first time Kratos has had to use that in a while, and he's really mad that
Yeah. Oh god, that's such a good moment. I mean, obviously, there's a lot in terms of like anime performances, but some of my favourites are like the plus ultra moments in My Hero Academia. Right?
I'll put in as many clips as I can, but this is an anime, so I'll try.
It gets copyright struck a lot.
It's like I want to put more clips of selling, but I know I'm going to get copyright struck.
God, yeah. God, I mean, just, you know, note to all these people out there, why don't you just let us show off cool little clips of your stuff without just striking us down?
Do you think we try to steal the entirety of Dragon Ball 12 seconds at a time? Right? Is that what they think? We're stealing it 12 seconds at a time?
Playing the long con, Karl.
Yeah, it's like if you get enough of our episodes where we talk about Dragon Ball, you might be able to cobble together an entire fight scene.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, but you do have a couple. There's a couple of moments like that in Expedition 33, but I can't spoil them.
No,
but
no. Again,
you do have like some incredible moments of just like okay, you fucked up.
Yeah, totally. And I would just please like look up a review for the game or something if you want to be sold on it.
A non-spoiler review.
Yeah, a non-spoiler review. But in terms of like plot and characters and stuff, just don't look into that side of things at all.
It's one of those games where I woke up the next day and I couldn't work because I wanted to play more Expedition 33.
Yeah, because the moment when you told me you'd finished it, I was like, Karl, you told me you started this like a week ago. It's like, yeah.
It's that good. But going back to the question I asked Lucas about when characters get super pissed, I do like the performance of Johnny Young Bosch as Nero in Devil May Cry. Like, he has a couple of great moments, specifically towards the end, where he, as his song suggests, he pulls that devil trigger. And he's just so fucking pissed that Dante and Virgil are going to kill each other that he just screams and just, hell goddamn yeah.
I swear! I'm not letting you die!
A lot of these moments are obviously spoiling the ends of plot lines, so you don't want to just sit here and reel off spoilers over and over for things that we've not prepped people for. But
a general rule of thumb we adhere to on Wiki Weekends is we won't spoil anything for 6 months after its release. After that point, if you give a shit, chances are you'd have played it, watched it, read it after that 6 months.
You've got to give people a wide berth of at least 8 years, Karl.
Oh god, what's the thing that people got mad at us for that? We spoiled something like a decade afterwards, and we legit got someone who sent us both a message saying thanks for spoiling that. I was going to play it tomorrow, dickhead.
It was like there were aliens in Alien Isolation.
It was Alien Isolation. Like I mentioned offhand in a video 7 years after release of like, yeah, the twist is there's more aliens. Which is always the plot of every Alien movie, every Alien project after Alien 1. That was always a fucking another Alien. And it was like, oh, thanks for spoiling that dickhead I was going to play. It's been 7 years! Like, there are people on YouTube who spoil stuff before it comes out.
Yeah, and obviously we try to mention spoiler warnings. Like, we do our best, but yeah, we at least give like a nice wide, like 6 month berth, which is, as you say, 6 months more than most people on YouTube tend to give.
I'll never forget, like back when I was like writing full time, there was someone that I was like, I'm not friends with them, like a professional peer, and they made like a lot of comic book content, and I remember like being really happy for them when they got to a point where they started getting invited to premieres and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And previously they had always like been so pissed off when people spoiled like Marvel movies and stuff like that. The first premiere they went to, they spoiled the fucking ending of the film on Twitter 3 days before the movie came out. And I'm like, what are you doing?
And obviously, like, I doubt they are, because we've mentioned that moment before, but if that person that, you know, got mad about us spoiling Alien is still watching, fair enough. Like, more power to you. But you can't expect nothing to be spoiled within like a decade of it coming out.
Yeah, I think our rule of 6 months is, like I said, on YouTube that might as well be forever. I said people spoil stuff the day, in some cases, before things come out.
And especially when it's such a mild thing, like, as you mentioned, the twist of every single Alien thing of just, oh, there was another Alien.
It'd be a bigger twist if there was only one Alien, and once you flushed it out into space, the game was over. That game would have been awesome if after you flushed the alien into space, it's like there's no alien, you can just walk to the finish line now. It's like, wait, what?
I mean, to be fair, that game might have been better if you just cut it in half, because that second half of the game's not good.
And speaking of, like, the latter half of something not being good, the Borderlands series. So bring it back to Handsome Jack. It's so bad. It's like, the gameplay is, like, fun. They just... they haven't topped Handsome Jack.
No, if you want, you know, interesting weapons and worlds and characters in terms of, like, gameplay-wise, absolutely, you know, try and get a friend to play with as well. Like, it's a good
dumb
co-op fun. Well, if you can get co-op to work, right? But yeah, they're good, fun loot games for like mindless gameplay. But goddamn, yeah, like they have proven with Handsome Jack that they can give like actual compelling characters and narrative.
Yeah, and it's just they've never managed to top the performance of Damien Clark, and to the point where they kept bringing him back. Like, I would not be mad if this brought him back. Fuck it, he's back. What happened? He got better. I don't give a shit.
And that's the perfect kind of franchise to do that with.
Well, they bring him back in like Tales from the Borderlands, and it's Handsome Jack's AI, and he's just in your character's head the entire fucking time. And Damien Clark once again puts on a fantastic performance because based on your choices, I guess it's a Telltale game, you can choose to just turn Jack's AI off. And similar to his performance, like when you kill Angel, like initially his facade immediately drops. He's scared. He's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. There's nothing there. I don't want to go back.
Hey! I'm on my knees here!
Feel how terrified the character is in that moment of like, they don't want to die.
There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing there. Don't do this.
That's cool.
Like his ego immediately disintegrates when he's just begging for his life. Like, don't turn me off. There's nothing there. I don't want to go back.
Yeah, I never played Tales of the Borderlands, but I did hear really good things about it.
It's fun. And you know what? Let's end now, Lucas, on some trivia about Handsome Jack. So, according to the Hyperion profile sheet, Jack is from Tantalus. The naming convention kind of makes sense, right? Tantalus is the guy from Greek myth who was tortured forever in the afterlife by having water and food just out of reach forever, and it's from them that we get the word tantalizing. So for someone who's constantly trying to overreach, makes sense like that Jack would be from a planet with that name. Jack has heterochromia, with one eye being blue, the other being green. This is genetic and is also fashioned into his masks. That's the things that we've probably seen in the picture. Your Handsome Jack like trying to go into the vault or touch something involved with the vault and it burn a fucking vault symbol onto his face. So he wears a mask.
Now, was that in the first one? And then he had the mask in 2?
Yeah, he puts the mask on in the second one, yeah. His face gets all kinds of fucked up. And as well, something that's interesting, it's not really talked about in the game that much, but if you listen to a lot of the voice logs and stuff, it's like, Handsome Jack is a fucking genius. He invented half the guns that you are using in the game. Like, he invented his own, he invented like a mask for his own face, he invented his own battle suit.
Yeah, and he's also the one that came up with the idea of, I won't find the vault, I'll just pay a bunch of people to become vault hunters, right?
Because I'm rich as fuck. That's his superpower. He mentions here that Jack has a diamond pony called Butt Stallion, which Jack clarifies is in fact a living horse made of diamonds.
And I think it was the D&D add-on, where you actually get to interact with Butt Stallion. I was like, I love the fact that they committed to putting Butt Stallion actually in the game as a model.
D&D inspired DLC also has some really fucking good voice performances, because you have Tiny Tina, a character a lot of people probably found annoying, but there's a couple of moments throughout the series where Tiny Tina drops the facade that she has, and they're incredible. So I'll give a shout out to Ashley Birch for this one, where the first is in that DLC. I think they're playing Bunkers and Badasses, not Dungeons and Dragons.
Now, pick your characters. You got the Necromancer, the Commando, the Siren.
Siren. Dibs. My Siren's name is Brick, and she is the prettiest.
And they go through the game, and it's basically her therapizing the loss of Roland.
Come on, girl. You know we gotta wait for Roland before we start.
Tina, Roland's... You know Roland's not coming, right? He's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's probably running late or something. We'll just start now. So, like I said, roll for initiative, suckers!
Yeah, it's essentially her initially just not being able to get over Roland's death, so making a game so that they can roleplay Roland being alive in that game. And her just getting to live out like her denial fantasy, basically.
Yeah, and instead of Handsome Jack, you have the Handsome Sorcerer. And towards the end of the game, like you have like the flashbacks the characters play in the game. And at a certain point, like I think everyone around the table realizes why Tiny Tina is doing that. It's like, oh, but there's only one person who can possibly save the day. It's the heroic knight, and it's Roland.
Hear you.
She's right, Tina.
So do you want to do some side quests, or?
You need to accept it. Roland is dead.
I know! I know! But it's my story!
And you have a great moment where all like the characters on the table are like, okay, she needs this. Let's hear the rest of the story.
You know what? It's okay. He doesn't have to go.
Not if you don't want him to.
Yeah, keep going. I actually want to know how the story ends.
Thank you. As the sorcerer's fatal spell hurtled toward the oblivious night, it was clear that only a miracle would save him. But luckily for the knight, a miracle is exactly what he got.
Ah!
Yeah, because I can't remember who it is. Might be Brick, I presume. Who's like, oh, you know, Roland's dead. And it's like, no, yep, Roland's here. It's fine.
Yeah, like in Tiny Tina's story, Roland came in and he saved the day. He beat Handsome Jack and everybody lived happily ever after. And all the bit of really good voice acting is something that was actually cut from the game. And it's directly referencing that. And it's where, when Roland dies, and you got to like, you have a side mission to like tell everybody that he's dead. You can tell like Marcus and Scooter and stuff like that, and you go around Sanctuary and everyone's really sad. There was supposed to be extra missions for that where you'd have to travel to go talk to Tiny Tina and tell Tiny Tina that Roland died, but they cut that out because everybody else is around Sanctuary, Tiny Tina's not, and it's like it's just adding unnecessary travel time and fluff to a mission. That's not that important. But the voice line they cut is fucking heartbreaking because it's the one time that Tiny Tina drops that facade and she stops speaking like in the exaggerated way that she does, and she just talks to you normally. It's like, oh, thank you for telling me. I'd like to be left alone now.
Roland's dead? Thank you for telling me. Please go now.
And it's real fucking hard to listen to when they cut it from the game.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but like, if people, you know, aren't familiar with Tiny Tina's backstory, like, her entire family got, like, captured and tortured, right? And that's why she becomes, like, the Tiny Tina character, so to speak, to just kind of, like, pretend like, oh no, everything's fine and whimsical and fun.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, characters, like, I think virtually every character in Borderlands has that basic backstory. Like, Brick, you mentioned Brick earlier, like, his backstory is, like, Handsome Jack fucking burned his dog alive.
Oh, God.
Tannis, who's like the aloof, like autistically coded scientist. Handsome Jack tortured her to get information about the vault by breaking all her fingers one by one.
Ooh.
Like, I think everyone has that backstory in Borderlands. Like, the actual universe is really fucked up.
Yeah.
And the only way they're able to sell how fucked up it is through the quality of the performances that a lot of the voice actors give. It's just a shame that the writing doesn't back it up a lot of the time.
Yeah, and it's a shame, right? And like, I think one of the writers on Borderlands 2 was actually like Ashley Birch's brother, I think.
Anthony Birch, yeah.
Anthony Birch, yeah. And I think like they and a couple of other writers moved on before 3 came out, and like it's very evident.
It really, really shows, yeah. And like, you know, speaking of the writing, we have a few quotes here from Handsome Jack. Do you have a favourite Handsome Jack quote?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, like I think my favourite bit is like the violin bit,
which I've already put a clip in of. But one of mine is I like the Stallion conversation. I've mentioned before how I think it might be one of the most tightly written character introductions, because in like the brief 30-second like audio log of Handsome Jack calling you to tell you that he's, hey, I'm Handsome Jack, I've bought a pony made of diamonds because I'm rich, alright, bye. And then he calls you back up and he's like, just to clarify, diamond horse, real diamond horse. I'm gonna call it piss for brains after you, but that sounds a bit petty. You get everything you need to know about Handsome Jack. Is that, like, you know, he's petty, he's rich, but also he's insecure. Because the fact that he has to call you back to clarify, no, it's a real horse, is he's insecure. And it's funny as well. You know, 30 seconds that's funny and informative and gets everything you need to know about the character across in the space of like less than a minute.
It's really done very well with those voice lines as well, where similar to like the bit with the violin where you mentioned there's like a brief gap. The fact that they put the timing so well between the messages, where just you know that he's like hung up and gone, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I forgot. And he's like,
Like,
oh, then you know he's like,
God
should I
damn
call him back? Yeah, I'm going to call him back. I'm going to call him back right now.
Yeah.
How did Brussels suck? How's your day been, buddy? We haven't really talked much since I left you for dead. Hey, you think you'll freeze to death out there? No, probably not. Bandits will get you first. My day? Been pretty good. Just bought a pony made of diamonds. Yeah, because I'm rich. So, you know, that's cool. Goodbye.
You can picture in your head, like, the physical actions that Jack was doing at that moment, and all you hear is his voice. But we have here some opportunity announcements, and these are great. So you got the City of Opportunity, and you just have Jack over the radio just giving various announcements, and they're all hilarious. So one of them is, hey kids, did you know that your risk of being disemboweled increases by 80,000% upon leaving Opportunity? It's a scientific fact. Did you know that littering in Opportunity is punishable by death? If not, you ought to know that complaining about Opportunity's laws is considered verbal littering. And finally, hey kids, do you know what your mummies and daddies gave up so your family could live in Opportunity? Literally nothing. Your family is paid to be here. I'm the one who feeds and protects everyone. Remember, we should all love our parents, but love me more.
And I can't actually remember the quote, but speaking of Opportunity, I really like the lines where you're cutting down the statues in that quest. Like, you're cutting down Handsome Jack statues scattered across Opportunity, and the voice lines for those, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but there's some top tier lines.
Yeah, I also love as well when you just do things that are really petty to piss him off. Like, Moxie asks you, like, hey, Jack's, like, building this thing, can you just go blow it up for me? Like, he's my ex-boyfriend, he's a dick. And you do it, and Jack just goes down like, oh, Moxie, you big-titted bitch. He's more impressed that you'd been that petty. He's like, really? Really?
Oh, God, yeah. So good.
It's great. And again, so great, in fact, that it has basically made every game after Borderlands 2 really difficult to get through in regards to the story, because you just know it's never going to be as good.
Hashtag bring back Handsome Jack.
Bring it back, like he got better, fuck it. What a story, Karl or Lucas. That sure was a great video.
I wasn't sure what you were doing for a second.
So welcome to our shout-outs to our big PPs over on Patreon. And PP stands for Patreon Producer. We call them PPs because it's funny to say.
Carl, they're the big PP.
They are the big PPs, yes. And if you would like to become a big PP, you can follow the links found below to become a member of our Patreon and hear your name be shouted out like we're about to do now. And the first name to shout out, Lucas, is someone who's taken a gauntlet I threw down on the ground many, many months ago and decided to put a piece of poo in it and then slap me across the face with it by creating ever more elaborate and difficult tongue twisters. So the first person I need to shout out is, through rough, cough, sloughing snuffles, brought tough, thought-fraught throngs through slough, slight altins suppose the stress. And it appears that their name got cut off by the character limit over on Patreon, so do be aware of that. But I think I nailed that tongue twister. I also like as well, like, referencing slough in a tongue twister. It's slough.
Or imagine being able to be magically whisked away to Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
And I'm going through some rough coughs at the moment, so it's quite fitting. So if I sound a little bit off, I'm just ill still, and I still want to be here to just shout out everyone and give thanks for support. So,
yes, literally fighting through illness. And before we did this, Lucas just looked at me like, Karl, I don't think I'm going to make it.
But the next person we have to thank for their lovely support is Daddy Grunt. And Karl, obviously, we could acknowledge Daddy part of Daddy Grunt, but I'm just going to say, like, in terms of grunting, in terms of, like, acting, what's your favourite kind of, like, effort in a video game or whatever?
There's a couple for me. I do like the efforts for Isaac Clarke in the Dead Space game, because all of his, like, grunts of just to the point where he literally starts shouting "fuck you" if you swing around his gun enough.
I was going to make a joke of, I like the noises that the grunts make in Halo when they're just grunting, screaming.
What's your favourite grunt scream and why is it not again when they get hit by a plasma grenade? And the next person to shout out is somebody who has taken that poo-poo covered gauntlet I mentioned earlier, picked it back up off the floor and slapped me across the other cheek by coming up with a name that is a series of words in a language I do not speak. So let's give that a go, shall we? So, next person to shout out is Tinakui, Hochata, Oxilane, Tomi, Sema, Sikapatia, Ta, Nitla, Maktia, Ipan, Kalta, Maktilioyan. And if I've mispronounced that, I'm very, very sorry. If you can't tell, I'm very bad at pronouncing words I'm not familiar with. So I deeply apologise for my bad pronunciation, but I do get the feeling that the person who picked that as their name on Patreon kind of wanted to see me fail a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Just
the thing is, just a little bit. Yeah. Not too much where we're going to get cancelled for like, have you heard how bad that pronunciation is? But enough where they can be like, look at this fucking dude just struggle.
Playa, Yakur.
Of the volcano. Aya Fiatla Yurga. Here.
Eja Fiatla
Joku.
I mean, speaking of struggling, Karl, I don't even have words for the next shout out, so...
That's what I mean. Like, people have like these gauntlets. I feel like there's multiple gauntlets now with multiple kinds of poo in them that people are like throwing at us left and right. So the next person has not even submitted a name. They've submitted a story told via emojis. So Lucas, what is this story?
I don't necessarily know what the story is. I can't quite grasp it, but it does appear to be a series of faces made out of punctuation. So I'm going to do my best to describe what I see.
So Lucas, I now get to say one of my favourite lines from one of my favourite bad game shows. Say what you see.
£290. What do you think it is?
Tip the waiter.
I see burning dragon, uwu face, happy face, glasses face, maybe butt cheeks, little jazz hands face, and then an angry face throwing a table at a very scared looking face. Yeah, did I just absolutely fail at getting the prize in catchphrase?
Like, no one will ever fail harder than just a snake charmer. We mention it all the time. I'm putting the clip in again.
Means concentrate. Here we go.
Sean! Snake charmer.
And the next person to shout out is Rosalindus Memphis. And we need to shout out Rosalindus Memphis, one, for their long-time support, because I recognise this name. It's been in like multiple of these big PP shout-outs. And also for just having a nice, short, easy-to-pronounce name that doesn't embarrass myself or Lucas.
True.
And I mentioned in the last like big PP shout-out, I do try to put in like a fun clip for each person's name when we shout them out. And the one I keep trying to put in for Rosalindus Memphis is a song with the word Memphis in it.
I find it funny, Karl, because I said months and months ago now that you're going to regret throwing this challenge down so hard, and now here we are. But somebody else that has kept it simple is Kicking Bucket, who also has decided to, I think it was last month, they added in also having a table flip emote in there. So we've got multiple little angry table flip emotes in there.
And Kicking Bucket is a euphemism for, like, just eating shit. So Lucas, like, what's the most you've eaten shit recently in a video game?
I mean, I've been playing Hollow Knight Silk Song, Karl. So
say no more.
Like, all I can see in my head is just like Horner, just like Shah.
Well, for me, it's Borderlands, because I bought Borderlands 4, and I shit you not, it won't boot up.
Oh my god!
It crashes on boot if you're connected to the internet.
It just dies. It kills itself.
Literally, like as soon as you start the game, it crashes on boot. So I think the entire game refusing to play. That's like the entire game just died. It's great. Amazing. Fuck you, fix that shit, Randy. Premium games, premium players, they won't even boot up without being connected to the internet. Fucking legendary. The next person to shout out is Lucille DeSteele. And Lucas, I've kind of been, taking the reins on this one, because Lucille DeSteele is another long-time supporter, and I keep putting in clips of real steel. So instead of me putting in a clip from one of my favourite, comfort movies, guilty pleasure movies, whatever you want to call it, what's a guilty pleasure / comfort movie for you I can put a clip in from?
Hopefully you can get away with putting a clip in, but my answer is going to be Lilo and Stitch, and not because it's necessarily a guilty pleasure film, but more I take a lot of guilty pleasure in the amount of just Stitch merchandise I constantly buy.
Yeah, and I'd say you get to pick which clip I'm going to put in, but it's of course where Lilo just absolutely goes to town on that little girl and starts delivering the hammer fists.
You're crazy.
Like, why do they not teach like the little girl playing Lilo in the live-action reboot MMA shit so she could just like deliver the beatdown of all beatdowns?
So this is where you get her in the arm lock. Oh, God. And the next person we have to thank, Karl, is Bee of Awesome, who has provided the answer to the riddle that they provided last month, which I'm a big fan of. The idea of giving us a month worth of setup and then a month worth of payoff.
And Lucas, would you like to remind people of the riddle they posed to us last month? Because that's another fun thing people are doing with the big PP shoutouts of posing questions and riddles to us that we have to answer. It's like, answer me my riddles 3.
So Bee of Awesome, the answer to last week's riddle, what lies on the ground 100 feet in the air? It is an upside down centipede. And
I should have seen that one come in.
Yeah, I read that and was like, how does that make any sense? Why would there be any...
We admitted to not cheating. We could have cheated for that riddle and made us look really smart, but we figured we could cheat for the riddle and look smart, but then people are going to see us try and pronounce these foreign words and just then know we're not that smart. But the next person to shout out is ghost emoji, little ghost emoji, and it is spooky month. Lucas, do you have a favourite ghost or character who is now a ghost? That's not going to be too much of a spoiler.
Well, I'm going to go with Pokemon, as I do love Pokemon, and I'm going to say Mimikyu, because
that's fair.
It's quite fitting for October, I'd say. It's in, like, permanent outfit of, like, Pikachu cosplay, because if it's not...
wearing a Halloween costume, right?
It's literally wearing a Halloween costume, but if the Halloween costume falls off, everybody dies.
I know it can't be, but could it be? Pikachu's hair!
And then next person we have to thank, Karl, is Split Scream, another person that has just, gracefully not punished us, so I have to thank them for that.
And their name is Split Scream, and we are in Spooky Month, as mentioned. So, Lucas, is there a favourite example you have of what I like to refer to as scream acting, which is where actors just scream real loud and it's very convincing, or, at the very least, entertaining?
Well, my favourite moment of scream acting is in the movie Scream, where they...
I knew it. I knew it. When Matthew Lillard just gnaws on the scenery. Yeah,
yeah, of course. Like, the faking death moment, just, the reveal. It's like, yeah.
That's right. You gave it up. Now you're no longer a virgin. That virgin. Now you gotta die. Those are the rules.
My favourite example of like proper scream acting is Shalto Copley in District 9, where he's just screaming in like with his really broad South African accent of like, "Fuck you, you fucking prawns!" He's so good. He spends half that movie just fucking screaming, and then the other half annihilating people with pigs launched at Mach 3.
Not the Mach 3 pigs.
No one wants the Mach 3 pig. Except for Shalto Copley, because he's like, fucking prawns! And last but not least, we have to shout out Ranma Satami. And it's really fun as well, because like, when I booted up my computer this morning to start work, I saw we had like a Patreon subscribe, and it was Ranma Satami. I'm like, that's perfect. Me and Lucas are doing the shout outs later today. They picked us at the post and got it at the last possible second to get their name in the credits.
There's my name right there.
Ranma Satami.
Looks more like Brad Storch. No, it says Betty. Betty Symington. That's for taking credit for other people's work.
We appreciate the support of our big PPs. Our PPs are just everyone who watches these videos, especially if you're watching it to the end and seeing us talk now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time.